Hi, this is Thomas Sørensen at Innerzone, and I'm going to show you how to use trigger point balls. Not to juggle with, but to trigger up issues in the tissues. So we all have some issues in the tissues. That means we have some too much tension or too much slack around our myofascial system. Myofascial system means myo, muscles, fascia, connective tissue system. So it's the entire muscular skeleton system. It includes the brain and the nervous system, and of course it's the fascia, the biggest sensory organ of the body. So, what we're going to focus on today is the hip area. So, also a good morning routine could be to go out for a little walk, go out for a little run, do some skip jumping. What I prefer to do, it's a children's playground not so far from where I live, so I go there and I jump on those trampolines that are stationed in the ground. The reason this is good is because it activates the lymphatic system. And what is good about activating the lymphatic system is that you can clean your body, and it's good to after do some trigger point therapy to help your body to clean some of the things that are stuck sometimes in your tissues. So what we're going to do is to use a bigger ball like this or like this. We're gonna lay on our side and we're gonna see if we can put this ball where it almost sinks into between the butt and the bone, the trochanter. So it feels like, I don't know the English name of it, but it feels like the ball will find its way to a place between some muscles here. Piriformis, gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and you will actually just find those trigger points. What you're gonna do when you lay on this is to use some minutes, but you're gonna find a sweet spot. The sweet spot is where it's sinking in and you feel there's a melting happening. You feel there is something releasing. You feel there is almost like ice start to melt. It happens slow and subtle. So your job is to feel and to sense yourself, your body. And then you're gonna find a sweet spot. I would recommend between, if 10 is maximum intensity and it's like, oh, it's so painful, you're not gonna stay at 0 where you don't feel anything, but you're gonna stay maybe at the scale from 0 to 10. You're gonna stay around maybe 5 or 7. It depends on your stretch reflexors. If you're not used to stretching, you shouldn't go too far. Not stretch too much at all. If you're used to stretching, you can take it a little further. So I'm finding a sweet spot right now. And sometimes if the ball is soft, this is a little softer ball than this, I could change to a harder ball where I can feel it triggers more into all those small muscles, connections into the skeleton itself. And you never want to be on the bone. So you're never going to be on the hip bone, the trochanter. You can be on the iliac, the crust of the hip, basically because there's so many connections of muscles going there. But you're never going to be directly on the bone. You can be around the bone, so you can kind of clean around the trochanter, if you like a half moon around one side. Sometimes difficult to talk when you really find some triggers that releases and you want to keep your body relaxed, breathing relaxed. Of course, now you will experience me talking, explaining these things, but normally when I'm doing this, I'm not saying anything and I'm just breathing in and breathing out relaxed. Feel that I'm actually using gravity as my friend to help me release and to be calm and let gravity do the job for me, kind of like yin yoga. So eventually when you're finished in this area with the trochanter, You can also move the ball a little more up here. This could feel so nice because what I said, you go into the iliac where a lot of these connections of different muscles from the leg, different muscles from the upper body comes and connects. It's kind of right above the gluteus medius. The gluteus medius is this side muscle here that is responsible for also lifting up the leg when we are walking. So it can feel so nice after you had your morning routine with a little running, jogging, skip roping, trampoline. Amazing. And you're gonna be on the edge of this iliac crust and you will just feel so many things releasing. And what I also would recommend, after you finish one side, you're of course going to do the other side, but just use a few moments to pay attention to the difference. So right now it feels like my left hip on the side here, it's like a new hip. It's like a newborn hip compared to my right. And then I really am dedicated and motivated to do my right side. So again, it's like this spot here between the gluteus medius, piriformis, and you have the bone here, and you're gonna find like this place where your fingers can sink in a little bit. So you're kind of in between, and that's the beautiful thing with trigger points. Putting the ball, placing it, finding the sweet spot where it's between comfort and challenge, and just lay with it, stay with it. And we are really going into the between spaces, septum, between the muscles, the connective tissue. And the reason why we also go into the nervous system is basically because of breathing. The clue to being soft and mobile, increasing flexibility, the key there is to get the nervous system on board. Because the nervous system is like branches of, you can say, roots, and it connects to every part of our muscular skeletal system. There's even more nerves in our fascia tissue, 10 times more sensory receptor nerves. That means we are designed to sense a lot. And these nerves come in and they kind of hold the muscles in, for example, tension, telling the muscles to don't open up too much. And if the nerves send signals of relaxation that comes through relaxed breathing, the nerves send signals into the muscle and the tissues to relax, and you can open much more. So you can think about it in another way. If you're stressed, you don't want to have a really opened body, open your chest and open your joints. You kind of preserve a little bit, so you close in a little bit to protect yourself. And this happens, of course, unconsciously. But if you notice, when you're really stressed, your breathing is also not really relaxed. 5 seconds in and out. Your breathing is much sharper, maybe more shallow. So all of this affects the entire body. One thing I will say about the breathing is also that amazing studies came out. When you breathe relaxed, you're changing your pH level. So you actually help your body to become more alkalized. When you breathe fast like you're running, you are increasing your acidic level. So you make your pH go more to an acidic state. And it's important when you're running, because running should stiff you up so you protect your joints. But after you're finished running, you're releasing tension like this, going around the trochanter. I'm going to change the ball also to get a little deeper stretch. You are helping your body to release much better when you relax your breathing. And I would also recommend to pay attention to relax your face. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck and your shoulders. And feel your body. Feel the sweet spot, the stretch point. And I would also recommend to go a little up to the iliac crust. This hip bone right here and right here, where a lot of these trigger points can be located. And after you lay like 2-3, maybe 4-5 minutes, one side and the other side, you can also just notice if there is one side that is more stiff than the other side. And I can notice that a lot in my system sometimes. And the point is not to judge or anything, just to observe. Oh yeah. And now I can also observe the difference. It feels like I have 2 new hips, and it also feels like my entire spine can just be lifted more easily up from my pelvic area. Thanks for watching and enjoy your trigger points.